Hey y'all, hey. I'm your girl, Courtney Ewing, trichologist and certified hair loss practitioner. I study the hair and scalp and different scalp disorders, and welcome to Hair Talk Tuesday, where we talk about all things hair. So TikTok, y'all just gonna be sideways. That literally just did that. Hey, how y'all doing? So yeah. I have a bit of announcements before I jump into today's title. Website is being switched currently, so there are some things that are not properly working, but I am working on it every day to get it going how I want to get it going. Second thing, y'all see this retie? Hey, y'all get into it. TikTok, I don't know if y'all gonna be able to see it. Y'all probably not gonna be able. Oh, there it go. Y'all see it? Get into it. So last week for Hair Talk Tuesday, I was talking about how I had thinning locks around the front due to the point rotation I was using and also braiding and banding too tight. Not only did your girl uncombine the ones that I combined because I thought they were just a lost cause, but she also fixed them. So she does establish locks, she does repairs, obviously, and reties, obviously, and she's cold with it. So her graceful hands locked by B, and that's BEE. You can Google that to get a hold of her. Graceful hands locked by BEE. Or you can reach out to her. She doesn't have a site yet. I believe she's working on it. But her number to book is 515-446-8932. 515-446-8932. I have my notes because y'all already know. And if you're new here, welcome. If you've been rocking with me what's up? Okay, yes, girl. Love the hearts. Let's keep it going. So today's topic for Hair Talk Tuesday is alopecia that targets the hairline. Topic for Hair Talk. Okay, sorry, y'all. I have 3 screens, and this is just, stuff's getting real with this whole Hair Talk Tuesday. But yeah, hair alopecia that targets the hairline. I thought this was a really important topic because you may think you're dealing with one form of hair loss and it could be another. And expectations across the board would be different. I think it's really important to find out what you're actually dealing with before, just guessing. How I'm going to lay this out, it will be probably a 2-part or a 3-part series. I was going to try to put all of this information in one video, but I feel like it would be just throwing so much information out. You guys wouldn't really be able to take in much. Okay, TikTok. The first one of the alopecia, traction alopecia. I've talked about this one before in previous videos. You can go back and watch that. It's under the live session section on the YouTube page at Main Love Hair Care. But traction alopecia, that's when it's just constantly pulling, too tight braids, too tight ponytails, constantly doing straight back braids, constantly putting your hair in a ponytail, and it's too tight, constantly pulling, that is traction, is too much. The tension around these parameters, I've said it, these are vellus hairs. We call them baby hairs. So, but the vellus hairs, they cannot take what terminal hairs can take. These hairs are stronger. These hairs are not that strong. Matter of fact, cotton pillowcases can rub your edges away. So if something like that can take off your edges, just think about what you're doing when you're pulling too tight. Hey, Auntie Lovely Red, you made it. You made it. That time difference is so crazy. So that's traction alopecia, caused from constantly pulling, tugging on the hairline. This is reversible. It is a reversible form of alopecia. You just have to catch it early. If you're dealing with any form of hair loss, if you're noticing thinning, if you're noticing patchy, bald patches, if you're noticing your hair is just not what it was, you probably should seek a professional right then and there. The longer you wait, the harder it is to get those hairs to come back. It already takes a long time because the hair cycle has a 3-month period to go through. And you don't want to wait when it comes to something like that. The next one, frontal fibrosing alopecia, or FFA. This one also targets the hairline. It also targets the hairline. It's kind of like a band. So you'll have a hair loss that goes all the way around in like a band shape. And then the back down to the the high back area here down. I don't know if y'all can see that on TikTok, but here and down. And it also can affect the eyebrows. Frontal fibrosing especially the outer, I'll say from here and out. This is an autoimmune hair loss. So it also causes scarring. Therefore, and you'll have frontal recession. Therefore, it is usually a permanent hair loss. Now, this is my opinion. Do not take it as anything. This is just my opinion, my personal opinion. I feel this is why I'm saying usually permanent. If we're going to let science talk, it's a permanent form of hair loss, because as the hair loss is happening, the follicles are being completely destroyed. Completely, meaning hair will not grow back. So this is why I'm saying it's usually permanent, but don't you ever tell me that my God can't make miracles happen. So this is why I'm saying usually it is permanent, but that don't mean a miracle cannot happen. For frontal fibrosing, I'm gonna call it FFA for short, just because that's a lot of words to come out. This form of hair loss, with it being a scarring, the scarring falls into the usually permanent. You can hop on this immediately, expeditiously. You can prolong it getting worse, like you can slow it down, but you cannot fix it. Once it's gone, it's gone. Usually, because my God is an awesome God. But let science tell it. This is permanent. Hair will not grow back. And with this, I have my notes. Hold on. So we talked about the eyebrows. It will be in a band shape. So it's going to start from the hairline, come around. Also, if you look really closely at the scalp, you'll see like these tiny, tiny black dots of where the hair, where the follicles are, probably feeling some type of way. If you, so I'd have where my follicles would be a bunch of black dots. You can look at a normal scalp, you won't see that. I wish I had some photos. Maybe I'll do a slideshow for part 2. And this will probably be 2 parts. And if you have any questions, please drop them in the comment section. If I don't get to them in this video, I'll get to them in future videos. And it does not have to pertain to this topic, just as long as it's regarding hair and scalp. Next one. So we've gone over traction alopecia. We've gone over FFA, frontal fibrosing alopecia. The next one is going to be the androgenetic alopecia. I've also talked about this one before also. This is more of a hormonal DHT form of hair loss. Hormonal hair loss also could happen not involving DHT. So I'm going to try to break this down as best as I can. Okay. Okay, so somebody was trying to co-host with me. I don't know nothing about any of that. So maybe just inbox me. So the androgenetic alopecia, this is the most common form of alopecia that is seen. You have male pattern and female pattern. Female pattern is this middle part. It starts to get wider gradually. And male pattern, it has the M shape. So this one, the male pattern definitely affects the hairline because it's going to have that M shape, that it goes back up and then it comes up, and then goes back again. Your hairline makes that M. It goes back, comes back, and then goes back again. That is caused by DHT. So what happens is genetic and hormones come together to make stuff difficult for us. And if you're genetically set up, the DHT will block the hair follicles. Those hair follicles will not get oxygen. They will not get vitamins and minerals. The blood flow that happens, that creates the hair growth through the scalp. This is why people say massage your scalp in circular motions. That creates blood flow. That blood flow creates the energy needed to have the hair growth. So if the DHT is blocking it, it's not getting any of that stuff. So it's basically choking the hair follicle. The follicles are getting smaller and smaller. This is where the thinning comes in at, because the hairs are smaller now until there's no hairs growing in that area. Hormonal imbalance could cause a hair loss on the hairline. It may not do the whole M thing or the middle part, but it will start at the temples and it can sway upward on either side, or it can start at the crown at the top of the head, but kind of off to the side. Does that make sense? Did I explain that? And any type of hormonal imbalance could cause hair loss. could. Everybody is different. Everybody's body reacts to things differently. For some, it could take the slightest imbalance to have hair loss. For some, you can go a little longer before you actually start seeing that hair loss. Off the top of my head, having a diet that is high in greasy and fatty foods, that can naturally raise the testosterone levels in your body, giving you a hormonal imbalance, which could lead to thinning around the temples that swoops up, or off to the side on the crown that spreads to the front. Like, next one. This next one is like a whole mouthful, and I'm going to call it CCCA for short because that is the short term for it. It is centrifugal cicatricial alopecia. Try saying that 5 times fast. For short, CCCA. And a lot of these hair losses that I am explaining, they mainly affect Black women. I'm going to share my 2 cents on why I believe that is and why other scientists believe it is and all that stuff too. But I just think this is very interesting. So CCCA, this one, it doesn't off top mess with the hairline. I believe this is on the list because it does eventually get to the hairline, but off top, it doesn't start there. So it typically starts in the top at the crown, and it starts as a small circle, and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger until it, reaches this area and messes with the hairline. This is a scarring alopecia, permanent, usually permanent. And androgenetic alopecia, that is reversible if caught in time and treated. And the treatment for it is a lifelong treatment because nobody can change your genetics. So far, scientists, they amaze me every day. But at the moment, as of yet, as far as I know, they cannot change your genetics. So the CCCA, it is caused by inflammation. And how I said, it starts at the crown, at the tippy top small circle, and spreads out like the entire top, which comes into the hairline area. A lot of people, they feel like a burning, intense itching, like very, very intense itching. From what I've heard, is like your scalp is on fire, or it's just like completely raw flesh at the top of the head. It's just extremely intense. And I did say it is scarring, which is usually permanent. The scarring, I'll say my 2 cents right here. I do say usually permanent because who knows what can happen, and miracles happen often, whether they're known about or not. But with a lot of these that are prone to Black women, a lot of it has to deal with inflammation. So this makes me think of diets, just how we're not properly cared for in the healthcare industry. So we kind of like put stuff off, and then just think of everything that Black women has gone through, our ancestors, all of that, and how that stress can be passed down to the different to generations. I do believe like that has something to do about it. And then what do Black women do? We always make sure everybody's straight. That's what we do. And I don't even think that we can help it. We put everybody else before ourselves. And I don't think it's done purposely. I just think it's the type of people that we are. It is just now a new thing where, the whole self-love, self-care is, it's becoming a trend. It's becoming the new thing that more of us are taking part of, where we do make sure that our needs are met. We are making sure we're implementing our boundaries. We are saying no and feeling okay to say no, because if you ain't got it, you ain't got it. So I really do think that all of these things have to deal with the inflammation. And Black women we have a lot of we have higher numbers of inflammation in the body than other folks. Are there any questions right now? Please comment them. If I don't get to them in this video, I'll get to them in the future videos. There will be a part 2 on this because I did not hit everything, and I felt like I wasn't going to hit everything. But we went over the traction alopecia. This is going to it could affect the front and the back, just wherever those vellus hairs are, which is behind the perimeter. Constantly pulling, too tight hairstyles, definitely reversible. You just have to take out the bad habits and implement healthy habits, and you're good. The frontal fibrosing alopecia, or FFA, autoimmune, which comes into the scarring, usually permanent. I have to do a little preach at the end, because I really do feel like that has a lot to do with it. We just have to relearn everything. Just y'all know how we are. The androgenetic alopecia, I talked about that with the DHT. Also, how hormonal hair loss does not have to have the DHT part to it. It could be caused by DHT, but it also could be caused by eating habits, not exercising, not getting enough water, just making sure your body is balanced. The CCCA, talked about that. We'll go over the next ones. The next one's next week. This will probably be a 3-part. Probably a 3-part, y'all. But I do appreciate you guys joining. I'll wait for a little bit of questions, because I do not want to go into the next one and run out of time. And these scarring alopecias, they have pain. It is the burning, the itching is uncomfortable. You see inflammation at the scalp. Is different from like a hormonal hair loss, where it just happens without, the pain. Also, oh gosh, y'all, there was another thing I want to bring up. Crazy. And I'll go into treatments of these. So the ones that they say are usually permanent, there are treatments that you can do to slow it down, and sometimes it reverses it. Yeah. Y'all, if I done hopped on TikTok and I do not know how to get off. But anywho, thank you guys for joining. I really do hope you learned something. I will do a part 2 next week. We'll, kind of scan over what we went through this week and then pick up where we left off. Until next time, y'all. Okay. I think this is mind blowing.